I work in communications for Boeing. I am absolutely thrilled to be here today, and we're going to be kicking things off with Teri Thompson, who is the General Manager for Boeing Canada Winnipeg. So Teri, over to you.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Winnipeg. I would like to start by acknowledging that our facility is located on Treaty 1 territory, the original lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dene, and Dakota peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. The water we drink comes from the territory or treaty-free territory of Shoal Lake number 39 and 40 First Nation, and our electricity comes from Treaty 5 territory. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past and their multi-generational impacts, and are dedicated to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. So thank you all for being here on this beautiful Winnipeg morning. I would like to start out and thank our facilities and safety team for making us some green grass this morning so we're not standing in snow. I was also thinking that you might be wondering, like July might have been better for this activity, but this is about a freezer, and so I thought the weather was actually really appropriate for today. But despite the temperature, I am really thrilled to be standing here. Today, we are breaking ground on an exciting new building expansion that is going to transform our production system and contribute to a more sustainable operation. This building will add 12,000 square feet to our existing 700,000 square feet. As I mentioned, the primary feature of the building is a freezer room that I think actually is a little bit colder than this if you're inside of it. We use the freezer to store the materials we use for building our composite aerospace parts. For more than 50 years, Boeing Winnipeg has been manufacturing lightweight composite parts for all in production Boeing commercial airplanes. And at any given time, there are thousands of airplanes in the sky flying passengers across Canada and around the world with parts made right here in Winnipeg. This expansion will nearly double the capacity of our existing freezer while using 20% less energy. It will also have lower emissions due to the modern CO2-based refrigeration system. The design is LEED Silver certified, so it will also reduce our carbon footprint compared to a traditional construction. We are grateful to our partners, Alliance Engineering Services and Boxdale Construction, who share our priority for operating in an environmentally sustainable way. Many people at Boeing Winnipeg are responsible for the success of this project. The cross-functional team includes engineering, facilities and maintenance, environmental health and safety, and operations, just to name a few. A special thank you to our project manager, Venkat Shenoy, whose vision and meticulous attention to detail has ensured we are breaking ground on a building that will meet our needs well into the future. And speaking of the future, we do have almost 50 grade 9 students here with us today for Manitoba's Take Our Kids to Work Day. They got their safety briefing first thing this morning. They spent some time learning what their parents do and touring the factory. And so this afternoon, they'll also learn a bit about lean manufacturing and participate in an engineering challenge. We've planned a very safe and productive and educational day for them. And this really makes me inspired, number one, and quite optimistic about the future of our workforce. It is now my honor to introduce Premier Wab Kinew. We are honored to have him here just weeks after having been sworn into office. And Premier, we so appreciate the time you're giving us today and for saying a few words.
Morning, everybody. I really want to congratulate everybody here at Boeing, including all the workers who are out here today. And this is a great milestone in the beginning of a new era, so it's one that you should be very proud of. And on a personal level, I'm happy to come here because my father-in-law works here. So, I guess Albert couldn't be here today, but you'll have to tell him I name dropped him shamelessly in front of you here today. I'm also very pleased to be here with the leadership team for Boeing, as well as the mayor and councillor for the area, and my colleague Jamie Moses, who is the minister responsible for economic development here in the province of Manitoba. Our team are big believers in what our province can do when we put working people first, and we put good paying jobs at the top of the provincial agenda. This is one of the things that I talked about on the election night speech that I gave, which is that, too often people overlook Manitoba, and the opportunities pass us by as a result. And I want to make a commitment to everyone here, whether you're on the floor, whether you're one of the construction partners, whether you're part of the leadership team, that our team at the provincial legislature is going to work hard each and every day to bring more jobs, more opportunity, and more money here to the province to support working people in Manitoba. So we've heard some of the specs already in terms of this project. And to me, it's great to see that Boeing is continuing to invest here so that there are going to be more good jobs in the future for people to be able to work at. And I think it's great that we're doing this also on Take Our Kids to Work Day so that the next generation can envision a future for themselves in the aerospace industry. And so our team, Minister Moses and myself, we're here, of course, to celebrate and to encourage and to say great job on this new expansion. But we're also here to indicate our support for the aerospace industry and our desire to work together with Boeing to continue to bring more opportunities here for the workforce in Winnipeg and the broader aerospace sector as well. So once again, thank you so much for the hospitality and the invitation to be here. Miigwech, merci beaucoup, and congratulations. Take care.
Okay, so I'd now like to invite His Worship, Scott Gillingham, Mayor of Winnipeg, up to say a few words. Mayor, the team tells me you were here in 2021 to help us celebrate our 50th anniversary. So welcome back, and we're so pleased you could join us again.
Thank you, Terry. Well, thank you so much, Terry. Now all of you get to watch politicians struggle with their notes with gloves on. It's a sure sign of the change of the season. Thank you also, Terry, for the treaty land acknowledgement. And I'm just thrilled to be here today and be part of the invitation for today's groundbreaking ceremony. And to begin, I would like to acknowledge other speakers. Premier Kinew, good to see you again, of course. Minister Moses, glad to be joined today by City Councillor Sean Dobson, the area councillor for St. James, and also by Pierre Roule thank you so much for the opportunity to join you as we celebrate this expansion. I also want to acknowledge all the workers and the partners, and especially the students who are here today. This is exciting to see you get a chance to tour the workplace that your parents work at or your family members work at. And as the Premier already said, perhaps envision a future and of your own in the aerospace sector. Since 1971, Boeing has been a key part of Winnipeg's economy and a key part of a community that provides excellent jobs for people across our city and throughout our province. Proudly holding the title of the largest aerospace composite manufacturer in Canada. And as Teri said, 2 years ago, to celebrate the 50th, I was here, we planted a tree. And my first comment today when I rolled up was, where's the tree if you're putting a plant here? So thankfully, good news everybody, the tree has been safely relocated, planted, and is growing and will thrive. So we're glad the tree survived. Over 500 composite parts and assemblies are produced here for Boeing's commercial airplanes, and this expansion will help to meet that increased demand for products. And as the Mayor of Winnipeg, I truly appreciate the significant economic impact that Boeing has on our city, our province, and on our nation. I had the privilege before becoming Mayor of being the City Councillor for this area for 8 years. And I was just reminding someone that when I campaigned for my council seat the first time in 2014, I came into the area and Murray Park Industrial Road was filled with potholes. And Saskatchewan Avenue was filled with potholes. And Moray was filled with potholes. And I had several nice conversations with Nick where he would call me up as the area councillor and say, we got some potholes, we need some help here. Someone, I think, once turned in front of Boeing, was doing a U-turn and their tire was flattened because of a pothole. So I can tell you, we as a city have been making investments in the area, and because we know the importance of Boeing and the importance of the work that you do and the investment that you make. And I just want to simply say as I conclude, thank you so much to Boeing for choosing Winnipeg again and making the investment here. Not only for this expansion, but it's going to translate into more longer-term jobs, job creation, and a positive economic impact in the city of Winnipeg and in our province as well. Thank you. Merci, miigwech.
Boeing so appreciates Premier Canoe and Mayor Gillingham being here. We're very happy. Thank you. Very grateful. So Premier, Your Worship, elected officials, distinguished guests, and of course members of the Boeing Winnipeg team and families. Ça me fait vraiment chaud au cœur d'être ici parmi vous aujourd'hui pour cette belle cérémonie. And you know, when I was thinking about this event, there's one thing the main thing that came to my mind is one of vision. And Teri mentioned it in her remarks. She spoke about the vision of Venkat Shenoy, who's here with us today. But I want to build on that a little bit. And this will be quick, I promise. But I want to talk to you about a beautiful story of Boeing in Canada, which has been spanning over 104 years. I'll do that in less than 104 seconds. But it all started in 1919 when William Bill Boeing and pilot Eddie Hubbard flew from Vancouver to Seattle with 60 letters, which became the first international mail coming into the United States. 10 years later, Boeing Aircraft was officially opening a corporation here in Canada, starting to build transport category airplane in Western Canada. Fast forward to 1939, Boeing expanded on Sea Island near the Fraser River to build a Catalina PBOIs. Fast forward again to 1969. After careful consideration, industry visionary leaders and political visionary leaders got together and decided they would announce a new site here in Winnipeg, right next to the airport. And 2 years later, this plant opened in 1971. And Nick will know that story very well, but between 1980 and 2014, the plant expanded 4 times. So this brings me to today. Today, the Boeing company contributes $4 billion into the Canadian economy annually, supporting 14,000 jobs And Boeing Canada employs over 1,800 employees, 1,400 of which are here in Winnipeg, which I consider to be the jewel in the crown. We have over 550 accredited Boeing suppliers here in Canada, which is the largest number outside of the United States. So the city of Winnipeg, the province of Manitoba, the federal government are all great supporters of the work that Boeing does here in Winnipeg, and we are very grateful for that. J'aimerais vous remercier d'avoir participé à la cérémonie et aussi d'avoir assisté à la vision de